adequate use of transitions and strategies. How do we want to examine that in this case?
So I believe we look here, and it looks like really it is organized in that way. There's consistent use of strategies. We have first, and then it talks about the monkeys, and then it talks about the finale or the last reason.
Right.
And then it says, now if you forgot what I was talking about, this will remind you. So then that begins to get them brought back into the conclusion.
So do we want to call that adequate introduction, or do we want to call that adequate use of transitions?
I think it has adequate use
Yeah.
of transitions because it does flow to help keep the reader focused in on the task. I don't think that in the introduction he clearly states what his opinion is, other than at the beginning, I disagree with this rule. And then
And this is a little irrelevant.
right, and it doesn't tie back to I disagree with this point.
So it does begin to be a little formulaic here.
It does, but that's what I think makes it a 3 here in terms of the transition.
Yeah.
Because it's, now that you know my opinion, I'm gonna explain these 3 reasons. So I would say that the introduction or conclusion, if present, is weak.
I agree.
Is
I
weak.
agree. I'm thinking the same thing. So then progression of ideas.
Yes. So now looking at overall the flow in terms of the syntactic variety. This entire paragraph focuses on a summation about monkeys, as opposed to why the monkey may be beneficial to have as a companion animal.
So there's no question. It's unclear. There's unclear connections between and among ideas.
I agree.
Okay. I might have to say
And I think it's an uneven progression because the extraneous ideas are still connected. They're just not connected in the right location.
right.
But they are on task. And it is very formulaic.
I would say this one it definitely falls in the uneven progression of ideas from beginning to
I would
end.
agree, yeah.
And then let's read then here. The response has an inconsistent organizational structure. Flaws are evident. The response is somewhat sustained and may have little minor drift in focus. Okay.
So I think definitely the preponderance of evidence shows us it's a 2.
Here, let's look at then the use of transitions.
Okay.
Let's look at that first and
Right.
see where we are. So go ahead.
I really think that there was an adequate use of transition throughout. We see things flowing at the end of the first paragraph, getting us ready. These are 3 reasons why. And then as we move through the paragraphs, coming to the close, it's telling us again, let's think about all of these details that we've seen from before.
And another reason,
Really there. Go ahead.
Another reason why I think it falls into the 3 category is because it's not so formulaic. It's not so first, second, third, or last, or whatever. And it kind of the finale, right? The last reason. I mean, it really does bring some nice organization to the paper and doesn't make it so formulaic.